Ibobi wana me ekele unu ana masị nke onye chiri ya zere nwanne m achọrọ m ka ị were aka ogologo tụsara m vidio ọ bụ na ị nweta vidio metụrụ m aka na share button ma metụ onye ọzọ vidio ka o lekirigodi vidio.
I think they're even playing to the gallery to an extent. I haven't particularly taken their call seriously for one simple reason. The Nigerian army is notorious with its human rights records, in those theaters where they have been in operations trying to combat whatever forces, they might feel that they are legitimately combating. Legitimately so. But in the process of defending the territorial integrity of your country, there are rules and conventions all over the world with regards to how you treat even enemy combatants. And the Nigerian army has not been particularly, they've not painted themselves in glory.
So you think that their notoriety in how they carry out their operations is going to, deter the international organization from listening to their calls or their...
Yeah, I think that their call will be taken with a pinch of salt. It almost seems like a bit of sarcasm to me. Everybody, so to put it in common parlance, hey, Shebi, every time you people are carrying us to ICC and carrying us to Amnesty International, now we too want to go to ICC and Amnesty International. It looks that way to me, because in my view, yes, the way the gentleman was treated was absolutely abominable and must be condemned. I think that the Nigerian army are well equipped to go in and retrieve him and do whatever they need to do while staying within the ambits of the law. So they don't have too much of my sympathy, to be honest.
We're having a double way in this story. The Nigerian army of the opinion that this man served, that the man is still in service. Now, is it that the Nigerian army don't really know the man's status?
No, I mean...
Or are we having a discrepancy now to determine his own idea?
We have to go with the official statement from the Nigerian army. Nobody will know who works for the Nigerian army more than the Nigerian army themselves. So
82 division, something happened in 82 division last some months ago, where a man, killed a woman allegedly. Though the Nigerian army were like they are looking into that. It happened there in 82 division. Nigerian army of the opinion that the man who did that, it's not or was not recruited from the Joint Task Force, and they said he's not a repentant Boko Haram member. Whereas we have other information out there on the social media platform showing that this man was recruited from the Joint Task Force as a repentant Boko Haram member. So do you also think that we're seeing a clear notion of all the stories happening?
Well, it's. I guess we would have to take that as a separate case, and maybe that would call to question the integrity of the information that comes out of the Nigerian. And we do know, we've seen in the past that, they've not necessarily painted themselves in glory when it comes to even disseminating factual information about things that are going on. I remember the very unfortunate incident in 2020 where we all saw live videos. I saw live transmission, Instagram live feed, where bullets were being removed from people's legs. And then the Nigerian army came out in an official statement and said it was, what do they call it, doctored or something like that. That was a bit ridiculous. So they have a checkered history. And for me, it's the reason I'm a bit unsympathetic towards whatever they're saying now. I think the guy that is being maltreated by IPOB, if that is the case, should be rescued, and they should deal with them with the full force of the law and the might that they have, the might of the state, and that's that about that. Why are they going to the SEC?
Okay.
I don't understand that at all.
Thanks very much. Let me stay with you on this issue. You said something about this case not being isolated. I think it has a broader perspective.
Absolutely.
So in the sense that it should have a broader perspective, do you think that it's some kind of selective justice on the part of the Nigerian army, to take the case of IPOB to the ICC and Amnesty International, the same Amnesty International that has several times called out the Nigerian army against inhuman treatments to civilians. And again, for the fact that the Nigerian army have not been able to take this same case of Boko Haram bandits and terrorists to the ICC. You recall what happened when Jonathan tried headlong, to decimate the terrorists. And it was like, we are going to ICC because in here, Jurika, you are chief of army staff. You people are killing my people and all of that. So do you think it amounts to selective justice on the part of the Nigerian army to do one thing in this case and do another in another case in the same jurisdiction?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that that's part of the reason that I'm skeptical towards this, their call, because it's one, I mean, look, that's one single individual. One individual that is maltreated by any unlawful means or whatever is too much. You know, you don't have to get to 2 or 3. So we have to condemn that. But my goodness, I mean, the kidnappings that are happening every day in this country, people taking ransom and then still killing the victims. Where was the Nigerian army and where was the petition to the ICC, you know, when all of these things were happening? For me, honestly, it's ridiculous. I think that sometimes these government officials really do need a bit of reorientation. You know, they have to take citizens a bit more seriously than they do.
Does it speak to the complicity or lack of intentionality on the part of the government in fighting insecurity? Do you think should we think in that direction?
Well, I mean, look, that's a bigger problem. That's a big problem that we are grappling with, and we need answers to. You know, why are the bandits? Why do they seem so powerful?